Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for joining our team call tonight. It's the first Wednesday in December, so it's a big month, and I have a lot of recognition to go through before our awesome rockstar coach, Rachel Baldwin, talks about how she's really created this just crazy, route of hitting Success Club and having her team go from just herself doing it to now like the growth of her team also hitting Success Club, which is something that we all really need to learn from. It's great if you can do it, but if you can't teach it to your coaches, then obviously it's something that your business will not thrive like it should. We all need to be able to learn that duplication system. And so she's doing it, and I wanted her to talk tonight. And then obviously, Hammer and Chisel, our newest program, just released yesterday. And I'm actually going to recognize some people for having Success Club points already on the board. And I think it's something that we really need to brainstorm about after, Rachel gets done with her presentation on Success Club, because, new program releases are truly a way for you to be able to expand your business. Even if you're not sure Hammer and Chisel is for you, you can't just be thinking about what's only going to work for you. You really have to be thinking about, how you can make your business better and your customers better. And you're truly helping your business by investing in other programs that could get you an awesome transformation. So many, like when I remember when 21 Day Fix first came out, I was like, oh, I just don't know if it's for me. And I ordered it just because really as a successful coach, I think it's what you need to do. You need to have, that one-on-one experience with our products, and so that you can know how to truly help your customers. And then once I got it, of course, it's like a game changer. Like, who here hasn't had lots of, customers and coaches get crazy results with that program? So even if you're not sure, in general, I think it's always a really good idea to just invest yourself in what we're doing, because it could be something that changes the direction of your own health and fitness. Okay. So I'm going to start. Like I said, I have a whole page of recognition. It took me literally like almost half an hour to go through everything, because this team is just rocking it. So last month we had 13 coaches hit Success Club 10, and 15 coaches hit Success Club 5. And that's big. Like my goal, really the next big goal I have is for 50 coaches in our downline to hit Success Club. So the fact that we're halfway there is huge to me. So kudos to you guys. I'm going to run down everyone's name, because you deserve to hear your name for working so hard and helping so many people. So Success Club 10, Rachel Baldwin led the way with 20. And then, nice job, girl. And then Wendy Willis with 16. And then we had Kim Sinke with 13, Christy Vuktivan with 12, Brianne Vuktivan with 11. And then at 10, we had Sarah Boldman, Jenna Evie, Amy Worth, Kira Worth, Sarah Brya, Becca Wasso, Kim Gilanov, and Kelly Webster. We have some brand new coaches on here hitting Success Club 10. That's huge. So if you know anyone on here in your team or downline or upline, that you heard their name, reach out and tell them good job, because helping 5 people, especially when everyone tells you it's a hard month, it's impressive. Okay, so Success Club 5, this is awesome too. You guys, helping at least 3 people, that's big. Okay, so it's Success Club 9, where Melissa Wardy and Amy rule. And then Success Club 8 were Jeanette Green, Kelly Helminski, Liz Bazin, Kathy Benson, and Erin Cermak. And then at 7 was April Erickson, Jill Barnum. At 6 was Lisa Nelson. She was messaging me literally like hours before that month ended, like, I am doing this. There's no way I'm not getting Success Club this month, which I love. And then at 5, we had Stephanie Michalak, Erin Cipriani, Heather Chalupa, Tamsin West. So nice job. Okay. Volume for the month, last month, or I take that back. This is volume current PV. Like, we have 10 people with over 1,000 current PV. So that's awesome. The thing I want to mention quickly, I'm not going to take a long time with this, but if you have a PV of that much, to me, it's like a blinking light that you have a lot of customers that could really transfer to coaches. They're liking your products. They are invested themselves. And you just kind of need to work on helping them kind of see the value in becoming a coach, whether it's a discount coach or not. People who typically are this into, if your volume has this much, basically in the last week, you have a lot of people who could potentially become coaches. So if your name's on this list, maybe you already have thought of that, maybe you haven't, but if you want to reach out to me so we can talk about that, let me know. Okay, so these 10 people have over 1,000 PV, and the highest one is Heather Chalupa with 2490 PV, which is insane. Next is Christy Votiven with 1912. Then we have Kathy Benson with 1866. And then, let's see, Kelly Himinski is 1687. Rachel Baldwin, 1564. Sarah Boldman, 1549. And then we have Stephanie Michalak at 7 with 1245. We have a two-way tie for 8th with Amy Rule and Kim Sinke. And then coming in at number 10 is Erin Cermak with 1205. Okay, last but not least, it's the second day in the month, and we already have someone who signed up a new coach. Everyone give a round of applause to Lisa Nelson. Way to go. She's on this call. Yes, you should be so excited. And then our Success Club earners already, so not Success Club, Success Point earners, with 2 each are Erin Cermak, Rachel Baldwin, Jackie Saylor, Becca Wasso, Lisa Talbot, and then with 1 are Kim Sinke and Kristen Longyear. Okay, so literally, you guys should be so proud of yourselves. I'm super excited over here because I keep hearing on like our leaders wall about how this was such a hard month. But if you look at these numbers and you look around, this team is really doing great. So I'm super proud of you guys. Okay, now to Rachel. I'm so excited for her to share. Everyone get your pens out so we can take some notes because, you know, just the culture she's building is exciting. And to be able to learn from other leaders is really how we all grow our businesses. So take it away.
Thank you. I'm super excited to talk with all you guys. I don't feel like I have like a magic recipe or anything, but I'm going to share what's been working for me and what makes me excited to have such awesome people on my team and to build that culture, as Wendy said, because their success is exciting to me and obviously it's exciting to them. So we like really celebrate that on my team. So first I'm going to talk about Success Club first for me, and then I'm going to talk about how I'm duplicating that with my team. So Success Club for me, the past 3 months, I've been in the 20s for Success Club, and I haven't missed a month since I got started, and I've been 10 for quite a bit. I think there was like 2 months at the beginning I wasn't. So Success Club is like an absolute, Success Club 10 now is a non-negotiable for me, especially because that's how we get Success Club leads. 20 is always my goal because 10 for me and 10 for my husband, ideally, so that he can get Success Club leads as well. So how I get that? I say this to my coach, Erin, like almost every month. I'm like, this is it. This is the month that I can't do it. I'm like cooked. I'm done. No one's going to want anything this month. Like I haven't heard anything. I say that like every month. And then I always make it happen. So things that we hear this all the time, consistency. Consistency is, if there's a magic formula, that's it. It's consistency. So I make sure to post 2 to 3 times a day. No less than 2. Like tonight, I was thinking, like I was getting ready for this, and I was like, crap, I haven't done a second post for today. And I'm like, oh, I didn't really have anything planned. And I came up with a post. I always make sure it has to be real. It has to be me. It has to be real. But I keep things like in the vault. So I had a picture of my husband and I from Thanksgiving, and it's already gotten like quite a bit of traction. And I make it real, and I make it interesting to people on purpose. And so with that posting 3 times a day, that didn't come easy for me. When I started coaching, I was like, people are going to think I'm such a weirdo and are going to be like, so like, what is this girl doing? Like, she's totally selling crap and whatever. And I just was really, really scared of that happening. And Sarah Boldman told me that Wendy had told her, and this just like really stuck with me, that Not the people that mind, they don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. And that has been so evident for me, that people will say to me, like at school, I started a brand new job this year, and I was posting consistently all summer and friends with a lot of my staff on Facebook, and people would say, like, I love your posts. They're so fun and motivating, and I just really enjoy them. And I had my principal come tell me that, which I was kind of nervous about because it's a guy, and some of it I feel like as a new teacher was kind of like, oh, I don't want to like cross any boundaries, but I just keep it real. I'm real. I'm me, and I do it 3 times a day. So to translate that into Success Club, when I'm posting, I'm always posting to my brand. And sometimes, like, I posted a picture of me and my husband. Well, I'm a newlywed, so that's part of my brand. And I post a lot about my dog, but that's part of my brand. Like, people that I chat with that I'm not necessarily already friends with on Facebook, we talk about our dogs. And yeah. And so then I do that 2 times a day, and I usually post something fitness related, health related, Shakeology related once a day. And when I do that, I make sure to follow up with my likes. And that took me a long time to like figure out that I needed to be doing that. I was missing a lot of people that like, I don't like, think about yourself. Like, if you see something you like, especially a call to action, it's very forward for people to put themselves out there and say, like, I'm interested. But a lot of people like stuff and they're interested. They might not want to be forward and ask for more information. So even if it's not a call to action post, like I post something about my energy levels, the Shakeology, and people like it that aren't current customers. So just reach out to them, and I just keep it really casual and very me. And I say, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. I really appreciate the support. Like, and then I tie it into them. Like, how are you? We haven't chatted in a while. Like, how are you since college or whenever I saw them last or chatted with them last? And it usually comes back, like they'll start talking about themselves, and it usually comes back, well, I liked your post because I don't have any energy. And that kind of gets the wheels turning. Do all of these people always buy right away? No. Sorry. They don't. But almost all of them come back eventually. And we've heard this. We know it takes people seeing stuff 8 to 10 times. That's why posting so many times a day is like key, because even people that do buy right away, they've been seeing my stuff over and over. They just haven't been commenting or liking or whatever. It's not out of the blue typically that they're like, yeah, I just like want to try this all of a sudden. And reach out to me, who maybe, especially if we haven't been talking, they've been watching, they've been seeing your stuff. You just don't know how many people are seeing it, you know? Like, I had a coach last month. She out of the blue for me, approached me and was like, hey, I've been seeing your stuff and I want a coach. Like, she wasn't even a current customer. And so that got like great conversation starting. So posting is so key. Being consistent with your posting and what you're talking about, making sure you have a system for that. But that was really key for me in the turning point in my business, when that was like my non-negotiable was posting. August was a really crazy month for me because I was getting married, we were fixing up my house, and I was starting a new job. So where I couldn't stay on top of everything, it just wasn't possible every day for me. For my power hour, I had to sacrifice some things. I didn't sacrifice posting, and my Success Club points reflected that. I still had a really good month for not working to what I normally do. And then with posting also, I don't reinvent the wheel either. Like, if I see somebody has a good post, I totally steal it. I usually tweak some stuff if they talk different than me, like people notice that. So I make it my voice, but then I use that. There's nothing, no one minds. People use my stuff. If I make it up, sometimes I have a really good idea and people use it and it's actually really flattering. So no one minds when you use their stuff. And because you don't need to reinvent the wheel if something is working for somebody, and sometimes that language can be really difficult to craft into a good post. So friending upline coaches and seeing what other people are doing, or even looking at like other top coaches and seeing how they're posting and what they're using for their verbiage can be helpful. So then for my follow-ups, so if somebody expresses any sort of interest in a challenge pack, like we start talking, or I'm inviting, okay, super key, we all know that, and we're talking, we get it going and we're talking about a challenge pack, they are automatically, boom, on a follow-up list immediately, because they do not want to be hounded, right? This took me a really long time to get over, and to just be cool with the fact that, you know, the people that are gonna that want to commit are going to, and the people who aren't ready will be ready eventually. They're just not ready now. So I get them on a follow-up list, and I have a system for that. I'm checking in weekly, and I do 4, and then I let them go. They'll come back when they're ready. So so having a system for that is huge. You have to be able to track your follow-ups. So what I do is I put them on a month. I have a follow-up list for each month. I put their name down, and then they get 4 X's with the date written next to each one. And I typically make follow-ups part of my power hour once a week, like on Mondays is when I do all my follow-ups, and I just crank those out so all the dates are the same. That's just what's been easiest for me. And you have to remember to follow up your follow-ups, right? So if people say, like, how many people did we hear in November say, like, oh, I just need to wait for the holidays to be over. Okay, you better be following up with them before, check in before Christmas. You don't want to wait until, December 27th and you're scrambling for points. Excuse me. So what's also been huge for me is I cheer on my discount coaches, and I keep them going. I keep them excited about what they're doing. And often discount coaches already love the products, right? We know this. So I make sure to check back in, and this will kind of go into my duplicating next part of my talk. So me and my coach and my upline, Erin Cermak and Sarah Baldwin, we decided last month to do a What is Coaching Zoom call, and it was very informal, and Kathy Benson was on there too. And it gave like a purpose to offer the coaching opportunity to those discount coaches. So I checked in with every single one of them, and I just said, hey, I know you're loving Shakeology. Have you ever thought about sharing about it? And you know what? A bunch of them were like, yeah, I've thought about it, or I don't know. And they'd share like their reservations, and we were just casually like, hey, well, I'm co-hosting this What is Coaching call. It's super informal. Just hop on. And I had, she was a discount coach at the time. She hopped on, and she hit Success Club 10 this month. So, and she's been with me since like June. And she hit Success Club 10 in like literally a week and a half, because she was so passionate about the product. She lost 15 pounds already. And people knew that, So checking back in with those discount coaches, and now we've decided on my team to do those What is Coaching calls monthly, because that will help my coaches also be checking in with their discount coaches and really spreading our network that way. Sorry, I have a cough, and if I don't drink water, I'm going to keep hacking. So with duplicating, when I sell a challenge pack, I always offer the discount coaching route every single time. And then I let them go through a challenge group, and then when I check in with them after 3 weeks to see if they want to continue, and they say yes, then I send them an email. And I got this idea from watching an onboarding video from Melanie Mitro, and tweaked it and made it my own. So I send them a email saying, like, welcome to the team. We're so happy to have you. Will you just watch this quick little video and see what type of coach you would like to be? And it's just me just like talking about the different options for coaching, how you can just be a discount coach. And sometimes people we know that are nervous about, like, there's got to be a gimmick. There's got to be a gimmick. And I just give an example of somebody that is a discount coach that they would be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So, like, I always say, like, my mom is a discount coach. Like, most people who know me know that my mom is not actively coaching, yet she uses the discount and she's drinking Shakeology all the time. And I talk about how they have the option to be like a hobby coach. They want, like, dabble in it and get their Shakeology paid for. And then I talk about how that there's an option for a career coach, and I say, you know, these aren't direct paths. You know, they go in and out, and you can decide to start on one path, and you are welcome to change paths. And that's again another reason I check in with my discount coaches every month now to see if they'd like to change paths. And I have 2 coaches on this call who also hit Success Club 10 this month who are like, I just want to be a hobby coach. I just want to pay for my Shakeology. I'm like, okay, yeah, right. They're my cousins. So that was awesome, and I was super proud of them. So that's how I kind of get them on board. So then once they've decided that they want to do this, I do a getting started right call. And I've now started asking them to take a tour of the back office first, because if they haven't already seen the back office, they're going to be like, whoa, like, I'm going to pass. Like this is so overwhelming. And so I try to have them, like, have a little bit of experience with the back office before they chat with me, so that they can have some questions. Like, I didn't understand, like, this part of the tour or whatever. So I have them do that, but then I chat with them one-on-one so that I can answer some questions and, like, relieve that overwhelming feeling. Because we've all been there, right? I remember when I got started and I was like, I don't understand this graphical genealogy. Why do I even want to build a team? I'm just a hobby coach. So it's, I think, really key to have that one-on-one time to talk with them. And I revisited this with coaches that have been on my team, and just it was nice for me to know, like, where they're at. Like, do you have some questions that we know that texting and Facebook Messenger is fantastic, but sometimes it's just nice to just talk stuff out and, like, see face to face. And on a Zoom call, if I do it on a Zoom call, it's so nice to be able to share your screen. Now, I also have, within my team, we have a team page, of course, and I have my Coach Basics up within my group. And so it's accessible at all times. And it's not another group to put them in. I found that's very overwhelming for people. I don't remember feeling overwhelmed, just like, ooh, I'm just, like, part of this cool, like, fit family. But I know that it's super overwhelming for people, especially if they're getting, like, their phones, like, ding, 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 like, it's crazy, right? So I loved the idea of having the Coach Basics in the group, because we don't always have Coach Basic groups running. It's hard to stay, for us, it's one more thing to manage. This way I don't have to micromanage another group. But I can see what they're doing. So I have them, it's through permalinks it's a pinned post, and there's permalinks for each topic. They click on it and they go through and they do the training, and then they tag me at the end so I can see that they did it. So I'm able to track where they're at in their training, which is fantastic. I really, really like it. and that it's in the team page and always accessible for those people that are ready to go and or that are just like a little bit curious about like some other things like discount coaches. I can add them into the group. They can choose to turn off their notifications, but then they can kind of see that behind the scenes stuff. So I really like that. And how I've been now molding my coaches. I don't really like that word, but like helping them grow. So I do a challenge group and have them in it. They participate. And the first time I did this, I just ran it solo, which kind of sucked, but there were a lot of people in it. And then for the next one, we had even more people, which is so fantastic, right? And I was so excited. And two of my coaches, I said, you know, what do you want? Can you take something on? I'm ready to like give some stuff up. And they both were like, yes, like let's do it. And I was chatting with a couple more of my coaches, and they're like, I'm ready to take on some, at least a clean eating or a free group. And then I really want to start getting into challenge groups. So having them participate in something and seeing that it is manageable, and then giving them little pieces to do on their own to like ease into it. For people that are ready to jump, but not everybody is like that. And so I like the scaffolding. I'm a teacher, so I'm a special ed teacher, so I'm really into scaffolding. Like, so we can build the supports and then take them back. And then when you're ready to fly, you're ready to fly. And so people need less supports, you know, so you just have to know your team and work with them. I found it's really fun to do recognition within the group besides just Success Club. Obviously, that is so fun and exciting. And I like doing just like some extra little things like, hey, you're doing an awesome job posting, or like, hey, look at this person. They've got a couple coaches already this month, like Wendy does in this call. Like, we all like hearing our name, right? It's nice to hear. And then it's nice for other coaches in the page too. They're like, hey, I want to see what they're doing. I'm going to check that out. So, and check them out and look on their page for some ideas. So I really like doing that as well. And I'm trying to do more and more of that as my team grows. And so this is very new for me, and I'm growing and getting more ideas as every day, really. Last month I had one coach hit Success Club, and it was Success Club 5, and this month I had 3 hit 10. So we're feeling pretty good over here on my team, and I'm excited about how fast we're growing. And people notice that that aren't a part of Beachbody yet. I had somebody on Saturday that was like, hey, I've been thinking about being a Beachbody coach. She's very fit. I've known her like for a really, really long time. And she's like, how do I get started? And she's like, I see how much fun your team has and how fun it is. So that's contagious to people. And just being real and posting about that stuff, again, back to posting, has really been key for my business and my success. Yeah, so I saw some people were chatting some questions, so I'll try to answer these. Amy, I go 1 week in between follow-ups for when they're on my follow-up list. I do one every week for 4 weeks, and then there's a script I use for that, just so it's easier for me to manage, and so I'm not saying the same thing every time, and I can post that. When someone expresses interest in a challenge pack and they don't respond, how long do you wait to follow up? Weekly? Yeah, like a week. Maybe a little bit longer if you kind of have to gauge them. But I definitely follow up with them. If I ask them their goals, that's what I always start with. They're like, hey, I want some more information. And I say, hey, tell me about your goals. Sometimes I wait 2 weeks and I say, hey, are you still like wanting more information? I really would love to know your goals and how how I can best help you. Or if we've gotten past that and I've introduce like what I have to offer and I say, does that sound like something that can benefit you? Then my check-in looks a little bit different, and I just say, are you still eager to like smash those goals? Like, let's do this, or something like that. I always phrase it like a question so they have a reason to answer. And a specific tour in the back office. The back office has a tour. And it just walks through like a couple things, some of the things that I just don't want to spend like the whole time walking through things that they could do independently. So I'm kind of trying to teach independence with that tactic. What groups do I add my discount coaches to? I don't add them to groups besides my challenge groups and my ongoing challenge groups. And so I don't add them to team pages unless they've expressed interest in that, or if they've sold a challenge pack, like maybe on accident. That happened to a coach of mine this month. She was like, oh, and I've like been asking her about coaching, and I was like, and you said you didn't want to coach, and she sold 2 challenge packs. So then I was like, I'm putting you in some groups. And that happened to me. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to be a discount coach, and I like kind of accidentally hit Success Club for my first month, and Erin was like, I'm gonna go ahead and put you in some groups, but I don't do it beforehand because I feel like that would as pure discount coaches, they'd be like, what is this? Like, I don't want this, and I feel like that would turn some people off. At this point, this question is, how often do you post about being a coach or recruiting for coaches? I try to post about recruiting for coaches like once a month, but I don't really get a ton from that. I get them from my discount coaches typically. And at this point, most people know that I'm a coach, but one of my coaches who's on here, we had a really good talk about that's really key to post so that people know that you're a discount coach. We obviously have a little bit of a crossover network, and she brought to my attention that some people were talking to her about 21-Day Fix, and then they would come purchase the challenge pack from me because they knew I was a coach, and they didn't realize that she was. So I think it's really important to post that, like, you don't need to say like, I'm a Beachbody coach, blah, 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 but like saying things like Caitlin had a great post, like she said, like, I'm so excited to be able to help people reach their fitness goals during a really tricky time of year. If you're ready to work on some goals, reach out to me or something. So it's not screaming like I want clients, but it's screaming, I'm here to help you.
That is awesome. So I actually have some questions and some things to add. Also, that last thing you just talked about specifically like how to help your coaches, that was a big thing that Janelle Summers talked about while we were at Platinum Edge, is that she's kind of changed her system, that all new coaches she brings on, she actually says, don't post anything. We're going to craft your first post together. And so they like make a post and they send it to her, and then they, so it's not like, I'm a Beachbody coach, here's my link,
Yeah.
But it's like that first activity they do together. And so then it kind of builds that muscle early on. So that's really good, I think, to make sure you get it out there. And the other thing I want to ask, I have like 10 questions. But the other thing I wanted to ask you, I know you said you only post once a month. And is that like a very specific call to action? Like, I'm hiring, or, join me on this journey kind of a thing? Or do you post randomly about like the things that coaching allows you to do? Because I feel like those subliminal messages sometimes help so much more than our very specific call to action posts. So
totally. I could not agree more. I totally post like subliminal things about coaching. And then like the once a month, like, big thing I tie into the What is Coaching call, which has been kind of cool because it's informal, and then people can like slyly watch, or they can like, they're like, I don't want to get on. I'm like, do you want me to send you the recording? And so, but I totally agree that those subliminal things, because people are really watching, like that was really weird for me at first. Like, people really care, like, what I'm posting, but think about yourself. Like, when somebody posts something and you like it, like, you probably genuinely like seeing what they're posting.
Mm-hmm.
And people feel that way about us too. It's just weird to think about myself that way, but
I know. And, obviously, like, I've been mentoring, not mentoring, but brainstorming with some other coaches. And it's really kind of encouraging that 6 to 12 month period of people watching you to make sure that you're not just going to do this for like a few weeks or a couple months and be like, I'm out of here. They really want to see that you're consistent, that you're going to not quit. And that's when all of a sudden they're like, okay, this is a real thing.
And that was totally true for me. Wendy, it was the 6-month mark that I started hitting in the 20s for Success Club. I mean, I wasn't hurting before, but just I think because of my personality. But then that was when people that I maybe hadn't been talking to were feeling comfortable reaching out to me that, wow, she's seriously doing this and people are doing it with her.
Right.
For real. Yeah.
Right. Like, you're actually getting results. Okay, so we're going to start all the way back to the beginning. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you while you were presenting, which, by the way, you did a really great job.
Oh, thanks.
Proud of yourself. Okay, so the first one, when you were talking about hitting Success Club 10 and getting your Shakeology leads, of your Shakeology leads, do you feel like you get a lot of conversions to challenge packs? Do you have many conversions to discount coaches eventually? I've been noticing, like, literally every month I get 2 to 10 Success Club points just from my Shakeology leads, which is crazy to me.
That's crazy.
What's your experience with
No.
No. Oh, okay.
But,
well, maybe we can talk about this quickly. How are you reaching out to your Shakeology leads? How about that?
Yeah, well, how are you, I guess, is really the better question. I've had 2 turn into discount coaches and 1 show a little bit of interest, but she doesn't answer her emails. So I'm coaching.
Okay.
But I just reach out to them but it doesn't really work. I don't really get people emailing me back.
Okay. So I kind of changed my script a little bit. I'm like constantly like redoing it. It seems like the past few months has been big. Obviously, it's kind of been, I've had a lot of conversions. So my Shakeology leads, I'll email them. And I have a signature that I think is big also, just to kind of help make another connection. But let me start from the beginning. So I'll change up the subject line and I make it seem something like they really need to click on it, like your Shakeology order. Like they're like, not like, hi from your Beachbody coach, because they have no idea what that is, right?
Right.
Like, I almost want to make them be like, oh, is something wrong?
Right.
That's silly, but you kind of want to create that sense of urgency. So your Shakeology order. And then I, have my typical like, hi, I'm Wendy. Here's a little bit about me. I see you ordered, chocolate Shakeology. How are you liking it? Would you like any recipes? What are your goals? Obviously, I always include that in there because I really want to help you. There is a way for you to get 25% off your Shakeology if you are liking it, and I'd love to help you do that. And then I say, if you're on Facebook, please click my link below, and I give my Facebook link so that they friend request me, because I say it's so much. I run free groups every month for clean eating. It'll help you get closer. So yeah, and then I also ask, and then I also I have 2 people that text me all the time now, Shakeology leads, because they're not on Facebook, but they wanted that accountability and they upgraded to challenge packs, which on that note, I do the upgrading for them. I don't let my customers, especially my Shakeology leads, call in to upgrade, because so much of our customer service, they don't really know. It seems like I've had to do it many times. I do it for my customers, like I said. Most of them are like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, no, let me speak to your supervisor. I can do that. And I think it's just something that's not talked about enough. But so I never send my customers to upgrade to challenge packs. That's always something I do. And then, so that's just that conversion, that 25% off. That's big for me.
When they do an upgrade, don't they have to order the program first on their own?
No.
They
So
don't?
you call into customer service. So I'm recording this, but this is how I do it. I first of all get approval from my customer. I say, I'm going to call in for you. Would you like to share your payment information with me? Because
Okay.
they don't usually even ask for it, but I've had someone ask for it once. And a lot of times you just need the last 4 digits of their credit card that they use, but you need their name, you need their email, their shipping address. You don't always need their order number, but I like to have it, and then the last 4 of their credit card number. And I call and I say, I'm going to pretend to be you just to make this easier for you, and then you'll get the confirmation later. So I call into customer service. I say, hi, I'm, Sue Thompson, and I'd like to upgrade my challenge pack. And they say, then you're charged for the entire challenge pack, and then you're refunded what they originally bought. And then they just,
that's easy.
Right. So I make it, all they have to do is, as long as they have enough money to cover that original challenge or that challenge pack, they'll get that refund in 3 to 5 days. So obviously $10 more, a lot of people are all about that, right? I mean, it's 2 more points, 2 more really easy points, and you're helping your customer get a discount. And the only thing that's not easy is then if they do want to become a coach and get the discount, then they then have to pay that $40. No, you don't need to submit anything for the refund. It's automatically given, Erin. Kim, I think I'm answering all of your questions. If I'm not, type it again. But so yeah, you don't have to submit anything. It's part of the upgrade to a challenge pack. They charge, like, let's say it's 21-day fix. Your customer bought it for $72 or whatever it was from beachbody.com. I was just like, and that's why even my regular leads, I reach out and I say this too. If you had any interest in Shakeology, you could get it for 50% off for this first month, so that they know it's even an option. Because most people, when they buy from beachbody.com, don't know that. And then they pay $140, and then they're refunded that $72 or whatever they originally paid automatically. And then in 3 weeks after that, I reach out and I say, would you like the discount again? And then they pay the $40, or they buy another challenge pack just to have the $40 rebate.
Yeah.
And get another really cheap bag of Shakeology, really. So that's how I roll with that. I don't know if any of you have any more questions, but that's been big for me with my Shakeology leads, because I feel like if I'm getting to 10, those are the people who obviously are willing and invested in Shakeology, and you have to really super follow up.
Yeah.
Okay. My next question was, when you said you follow up with likes, is this on your like page? Are you running ads on your like page, or is this just on your personal page that you're following up with likes?
Both. I do run ads on my like page, is really what I use my like page for right now. It's super hard for me to manage everything that's in my life. So I use my like page, but typically I'm using my personal page. So I'm making sure to follow up with those likes off my personal page, and making sure I'm expanding who I'm talking to, so that my post is out to more people than just my Beachbody network, which feels like that's who likes your stuff, right? Is because we all like it.
We've talked about this before. There isn't a way to exclude Beachbody, but still, obviously.
But on ads, and I do that for ads, but on your personal page, I totally like every coach's post I see.
I know.
I love that, but
thank you. Okay. So you said you regularly follow up with your discount coaches. How often is that? Is that once a month? Is it
once a month? Yeah.
Once a month? Okay.
And I have them in a challenge group, but it's not a big, and I call it our dumping ground, for lack of a better term, and that's not super engaging, but I do have some that are checking in and out. So some it's more than once a month. It just kind of depends on the person, but I make it a point to go through all of my coaches and discount coaches and check in with them once a month.
Okay. So are they part of your follow-up list then? Just their name is in there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm just moving into, because there's so many of it's different with your coaches and customers, but your coaches obviously deserve regular attention too. Mm-hmm. So it's important. Okay. Your Coach Basics. Have any of you checked out the new Coach Basics that Christine Dwyer has done through Kajabi? Anyone? Anyone? Okay, so it's through Platinum Presenters University, and I'm just giving you this as an idea, either to change your own or to consider like moving, maybe your newer customers into it, because it's they get a 1 email a day for 14 days, and it's a short video training, and she tells the coaches right in there, like, send your answers to your upline coach. And so it's an easy way for you to, instead of having that tag, which it does work really well, and I know a lot of coaches use that and love it, but it's just something I would encourage all of you to jump onto Platinum Presenters University, just see what she's doing. I mean, obviously, I just got back from Platinum Presenters, and of 400,000 coaches or 390,000 coaches, she has almost 200,000 of those in just her downline. So obviously she's doing something right. And I think just to learn from how she's doing it is really important too. So what your training that you do, where is it, a video training? Where have you gotten your training from that you pin those permalinks in your?
Kathy Benson actually posted something in a group I'm in of how to do that. But the basics I've gotten from just different basics that I've been a part of. Becca Wasso sent me hers, which was great. And I kind of just like took bits and pieces and made it my own. And I found videos that I felt like were pertinent to like my team and my team's culture. So I spent a long time like finding what I thought was the best to have.
Okay. One small piece of advice was you need to make all those videos yourself. Well, I do have some. Are they all yours?
No, not all of them.
Okay.
But some of them are.
And that's really great. Like the more you do that stuff, obviously, then the more your team sees that they can do it too.
Yeah.
It's that duplication yet again. You don't just have to pull from Christine Dwyer, like I just told you. Like that's why I signed up, to see how she's doing it, and then I'll make them my own.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing the I do, we do, you do as part of your challenge groups is like super high five to you, because that's really the best way to get, your coaches having that confidence, that scaffolding, like you're saying. And, even on like things like we're doing tonight, it's something that, it's hard sometimes because you're like, I want to be able to do it. I want to be able to help. But then, you don't want to overwhelm your coaches, and, it's one of those things. So that's awesome. And that's why I love like these calls, once or twice a month or whatever. I'd love to rotate with other people who are doing really great. Like you deserve recognition and training. People want to learn from you too. I have a coach on here. Her name's Amy Rule, and I put her right away into my team page as a discount coach because she had no interest. And she has said to me, if you wouldn't have put me in there, I never would be doing this. She's one of my diamond coaches.
Yeah.
So what I have changed now with my discount coaches is I say, I'm going to put you in my big team group. When I check back in with you in 3 weeks about your Shakeology and your club membership, we'll talk about this group. And if it's too much for you, I'll take you out. But I just kind of want you to see our culture, see what we talk about, see what a great group of women or whatever. So then they're not just in there and overwhelmed, but people who before potentially would not be able to see that culture at all.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting a taste of it. And it could be, like a lot of the top coaches were all discount coaches at one point,
Right.
And it's just important to maybe think of being able to give that little, just.
I like that.
So I know adding people to groups, I did it in the beginning and it overwhelms everyone. So just being smart about it, making sure that they know they have an out, that's another way to look at it. But did we have any other questions? How far along in your business did you make a like page? This is kind of one of those hot button questions. My answer is always, once you feel that you are comfortable posting 3 to 5 times a day on your personal page and you're getting engagement and you're getting people, you're really adding a lot of value, that's when you should start a like page. Because otherwise you're kind of just going to do an average job at both. And what's the point of doing an average job at anything? So that's kind of my advice. And I've heard that from some of the other top coaches too.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on that? Anyone else? Rachel, obviously you should answer, but anyone else have any answer to that?
I totally agree. I felt like I had a good handle on my personal page, and I that's still my top priority. But and then I use my like page as well. But then I'm not really using I kind of gave up Instagram to go to my like page because it was getting to be too much of, like you said, like average on too many platforms.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. When you feel
what I'm learning now, and I know I've mentioned this in our big team group, but through PSMU, really it's a way to tie it all together, but still, because his whole thing is like there's all these other great social media outlets, right? Like you can get on Periscope and you can get on Instagram and you can do LinkedIn or whatever. There's so many different things, but really Facebook is the one, and YouTube. I mean, I think YouTube's great too. Facebook is the one that you can specify such a very specific niche and audience that you can really get that biggest payoff, right? Like you're not just kind of putting it out there to everyone. But the way you can kind of intermingle them and not really create much more work for yourself is like if you take a photo, post it on Instagram, and that's your filter. And then that filtered, prettier photo, that's what then goes to your like page for the one that adds value. Or if it's going to add a lot of value, if it's going to be more than just a 2 or 3 line post, that's when you use your blog with your landing page to send everything goes there first, and then you just post the link on your like page. So then everyone, it seems like a lot, and I'm sure I'm probably confusing some of you, but really it's only 1 to 2 steps. Instead of having to only use one outlet. Because if Facebook disappeared tomorrow, what would you do? Right? So that's kind of how I do it. It takes all of another minute. I'm not trying to grow on Instagram per se. I'm just I use that as a tool to make my pictures look prettier, and it doesn't take that much longer, but it is a post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes, but I agree. Really only focusing on 1, maybe 2 is the smartest way to go about really growing in a positive way. Mm-hmm. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions? We want to talk about hammer and chisel for a second. Does anyone want to talk about that? Okay, I see lots of yeses. Okay, so what I am going to do in Fierce Focus is I have a couple posts that have caught my eye that are doing really well that I want you just to look at and consider, how you could use it. I personally did a landing page with a form from my blog. I have 12 people to contact tonight that have filled out full forms, just from a really simple photo of me holding some weights. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I think why we love to talk about Shakeology, right? Like it's such an awesome way to really add to your nutrition. I think it's important to mention because a lot of people who are weightlifters, at least in my experience, they already kind of have something they really like with that, right? Like they've worked with trainers or they're CrossFitters or whatever. But the performance line, like I've had more than, I think 3 people now who are like, I'm not interested in Shakeology. So I'll just get the program. And then I'm like, well, you don't have to get Shakeology. You can get this really great pre-workout. And then when you're sore, you can get and so, yeah, I mean, 3 people are like, okay, I want to get, just the performance line with hammer and chisel. So, I mean, consider putting that as part of your post too, especially if you do have more of a fitness following that they're not ready to switch to, a different meal replacement or a different protein-based, supplement. Yeah, so I'll post some of those posts in Fierce Focus. What else is anyone doing that's getting some traction? I think a form is big. I'm saying my exclusive test group. Just obviously I'm not like exclusive test grouping it, but I think sometimes just a different wording. And then those transformation photos. I know Sarah posted the one and I took it, and then I saw a lot of people taking it, just all the different transformation photos all together. That's kind of a heavy hitter, and it's a lot of people looking, at least. Anyone else have anything that has been working for them? Okay. What else was I going to mention about that? Yeah, so the form is big, then you're getting personal people. Trying to think what other posts I've seen. So like I said, I'll post some of the permalinks to the posts that have been doing really well or that have caught my eye. And that's the other thing. If you guys see any other posts, add them in there so we can kind of brainstorm together. But yeah, I'm not doing any giveaways or anything like that. And I think, just being consistent with those transformation photos and talking about why it would change for you. Like, why would hammer and chisel work on your body? Why would you like to do it? Sharing that personal experience, even if you don't feel like you're a weightlifter. If someone had results from 21 Day Fix, they probably didn't feel like they were weightlifters either, but it's the same kind of thing. Okie dokie. I am going to stop recording, but thank you, Rachel. And I'm so happy you were here. And I have literally my page of recognition and a page of notes now. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was so fun.
Oh, good. Yeah. So we need to do this more often. But everyone have an awesome Wednesday. Payday's tomorrow. Maybe consider doing a really great post about, just something that, or paycheck tomorrow, even if it was only $25, something that you were able to do with that money that maybe you weren't able to do before. So consider that, okay? Alrighty. Oh, and then Christmas, seriously, or the holidays. I'm sure not everyone on here is Christian, so sorry about that. But, just, do you want a couple extra $100 for holiday shopping? Maybe consider that being a post tomorrow, especially on payday. I probably wouldn't have been able to, buy whatever for my kids or for my husband or my dog or, whatever you said, like Rachel was saying, whatever your niche is, play with that tomorrow. What's something that, you were paid tomorrow that you will now be able to potentially put towards a holiday gift? Okay, so have a good rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you ladies soon.